Welcome to Budapest, Hungary's capital, and the final block on the third and final day of competition at this year's Budapest Grand Prix. Boasting a wealth of classical architecture as well as cultural, artistic and historic attractions, Budapest can rightly lay claim to being one of Europe's most beautiful cities. We're going to begin this afternoon's final block with the first of the bronze medal matches in the under 90 kilo category. That features Ivan Felipe Silva Morales of Cuba. He's up against Nicolas Sherazadishvili of Spain. It's Silva Morales in the white judogi, Sherazadishvili in blue. And with commentary on this and all this afternoon's medal matches, it's a very warm welcome to former world champion Loretta Cusack-Doyle.
Thank you very much, Sheldon. And yes, this is going to be a very exciting bronze medal match. Both these athletes have had a superb innings today and well deserving of a bronze medal to take home, but we only know that one can do that.
The referee in the middle for this one is Artur Fando of Belarus.
Silva Morales there in our screen, and following shortly behind there is Sherazadishvili of Spain.
Just the one slip for the number 2 seed, the Spaniard. That was in the semi-final against Top Christian, the home favourite. What a match that was.
It was a very exciting match, and a little bit of a repeat of yesterday's performances when you had Ungvari, who took the gold medal yesterday in the 73 kilos. Will it be a repeat? Will they get a double gold? Well, we'll just have to wait and see a little bit later on. But here we have a bronze medal contest. Cuba in the white, Spain in blue. Well, Silva Morales, you can see there with the left hand over the back, controlling the right side of his opponent. Very lively on his feet there, as you can see. Very sharp in his reactions, which makes him very dangerous. Lovely Makakomi, beautifully executed, scoring a Wazari, and that puts the Cuban firmly in the lead with 3 minutes and 17 seconds to go. Still a long time to go though, and hanging on to a Wazari, so it means that he still has to stay engaged, otherwise he'll start accumulating the shidos, and that's something he doesn't really want to do at the early stage of this contest. Nice reaction there once more from Silva Morales. Reactions so good there, as you can see. Came in with the Uchimata. There's the highlights of that Wazari that we've seen earlier on. Nicely controlled. Uchigari. On that left side, he's very open and flows nicely with the combinations of the Ouchis and Uchimatas that we're seeing. Works away on that right side of his opponent, and Spaniard looking very uncomfortable indeed, looking a little bit apprehensive, but there we have some nice little bit of Niwazo. Tries to turn him over there at the latter stage.
He has a specialist turnover, by the way.
I know, and it's very effective, isn't it?
But so he knew it wasn't on there, and he decided, I've got time. I fancy my chances standing up. I'm going to throw Silva Morales, so I'm up on my feet. Or else he could have worked on the ground.
Well, Silva Morales, he's such an open player that even though he's quite sharp in his reactions and can throw big, he can also leave himself very vulnerable as well.
Oh, suffering with a rib injury. Is Sherazadishvili. He didn't come in this morning with that kind of strapping.
No.
So that's something that he's picked up during the day. Holding it for a second time there.
Well, I think he actually must have picked that up in the semi-final, because I can't remember seeing the strapping.
Well, no doubt he's going to be hampered by that, because we've seen him, clutching up there a couple of times already.
Oh, the hips coming in. He's got the leg there. Oh, Chigari! Whoa! Well, what reactions from Silva Morales, he really worked well to get off of that.
He was lucky, to avoid not giving up the score there. Good turn from Silva Morales. Maybe if Sherazadishvili had been 100% fit, he would have caught him. Maybe if he was 100% fit, he would have been caught. But hey, what if?
Well, we're coming up to that last minute. Sherazadishvili.
Oh! Uchimata Sakaishi!
So close.
Strong attack from Sherazadishvili.
Well, there was an opportunity lost there for the Spaniard to come again with the Sutemi was
clever. He's
clever. Clever to get him down into the ground. Oh. Well, it was a way to get him down there, and you can see he really is suffering with that rib.
He's not going to give up. He's probably got 2 big attacks left as far as the clock is concerned. Silva Morales has got to try and keep him out. Right now, for me, he's not interested in engaging. I'd have stopped it there. He has. Yeah.
Well, it's the second Shido now. He's got to be really. He was 12 seconds. He cannot afford to make a mistake here. He could lose everything now. Wazari up. Well, he's working the feet quite nicely. He's looking busy enough. That's
the second time today that Sherazadishvili has given absolutely everything and come out on the losing side.
Definitely a well-earned 5th place, but sadly he was on the cards for a medal, wasn't he, based on his performance. But Silva Morales, judo-wise, he got the score. He came in with some nice judo. He moved well on the mat. He always looked dangerous.
Did what he had to do. What an effort from Sherazadishvili.
Definitely a good athlete to watch. Quite exciting match indeed there. And there's some highlights coming up of that very event. Lovely Makikomi there, the Uchimata. Tied up very nicely, caught him off the edge of that mat, but you can see the coach looking for the ippon. Not on your Nelly.
No. Good Wazari though.
Yeah, great Wazari. Good result in general.
Right, we come now to the second of the bronze medal contest. David Klamert of the Czech Republic faces Alexander Kukolia of Serbia. It's Klamert in the white judogi, Kukolia in blue. And the referee in the middle for this one is John Ramakas of the Netherlands. Loretta.
Well, these are 2 athletes that have fought extremely well. Kukolia up there for us was an amazing athlete that just missed out on a place in the final. But my goodness me, he gave it his all in that semi-final. But here he battles away now for the last chance of a medal up against Clement, who went out in the quarterfinals against Christian Tot of Hungary.
There are two Serbians at under 90 kilos. Just one here today.
Yes.
But that you should take note of in the world, the other being the current world champion.
Yes, who was seeded number 1 in, we saw him in Zagreb.
Spoilt for choice.
Oh, nice.
Serbia. I'm sure we'll see them both
yeah,
in Baku.
Definitely, yeah. Definitely strong contenders for medals anyway. Clement, they're coming out with strong grip, using his feet quite nicely to break up his opponent's balance. Comes in a little bit deeper with the grip round the back.
He reminds me a lot of Sherazadishvili.
Yes.
There's Kokolia, the same kind of height. He's got that slim. You've got to be slim if you're going to be that tall for 90 kilos.
Yes, yeah, they're always going to have that gauntlet coming in, really. Very thin face.
And two really likeable characters, both of them.
Kokolia there, as you can see, with that left hand high onto the collar, drawing the left foot forward slightly, trying to draw his opponent in as he attempts Sutemiwaza. Sumigeshi didn't really get the lift he was intending for, but nevertheless a good attack from the Serbian. Side skipping there from Kokolia, is using his feet. Bit of the head-to-head clash there, as you can see. Clement tried to change grips on the receiving end of the Uchimata. Kokolia now going into the Niwazi, wraps up that arm, looking for the turnover. I've seen that quite a few times throughout this weekend. It's been very effective as well. Seems to be a little bit of a trend of a turnover that we're seeing become very, very popular. Almost as popular as the Sangaku Jumi.
2 minutes 20 odd left to go. No score yet. Both players penalty free.
Clement, as you can see, with the right hand this time round the back. It was on the lapel, now leaves himself exposed for the hip throw. And there you have a Wazari and a good lead now with just halfway through this contest. Kokolia there takes the lead, and here you have that result. The Uchimata, the hip throw off the belt grip, continuous move and driving over for the Wazari score. Clement now having to change the pace and dynamics of this contest, but Koso Tagari countered there, beautifully done, and comes back very swiftly to even this contest up again. What's really refreshing here is that there's no Shidos. There's the Kosota. He tried to drive, overstretched himself, lifted himself higher, upper body control, rotated his opponent over and scored the Wazari. Well, the battle continues with 1.5 minutes now remaining in this bronze medal contest. The question is who will join the Cuban Silva Morales on the podium in the 3rd spot. Oh, what a left there. Off the belt once more. Uchimata, oh, just didn't have the pulling action off that sleeve. It just seems one attack to another, both taking it in turns to excite this crowd out here today. Still no clearer who's going to get there. Well, that's it. Lovely bit of judo. Another Wazari. Wazari is set to upon.
Well, they both gave everything that they could. Kukolia came up with the 2 scores, but it wasn't as though Clamet was pushed out of it by any big margin. He was right there, right up until we only had 30 odd seconds to go.
Definitely, it was a very, very close match. Both definite, based on that performance, deserved to take home a bronze medal, but sadly only one could do it. Kukolia takes the bronze back to Serbia, and definitely had to work for that medal. And nice little bit of action there as he thanks the crowd for their support.
Time for a bit of autograph signing now.
Oh, beautifully done there. As you see the highlights of this contest, both so close in taking that bronze, but only one at the end finally got that second score. Right off the belt.
Coming up next, we've got the final of the under 90 kilo category. Ushangi Margiani of Georgia comes up against local hero Todd Christian of Hungary. It'll be Margiani in the white judogi, Todd Christian in blue, and joining Loretta Cusack-Doyle for commentary on this one is Anthony Pirelli.
Well, here you have the statistics. Both of these have competed against each other, but very, very similar in stats that on wins and age and even grades. So this is going to be a very interesting but very close fought match. The only difference is Tot has that home crowd fighting in his corner all the way. Will it be the same as Ungavari that we've seen yesterday in the final? Will that be the edge that he needs to take this gold medal?
Well, this Hungarian crowd is definitely something to reckon with. It's like they've just been waiting for this. They've been quiet the match before, but now it's their opportunity to make some noise, show some support, and hopefully propel him to victory.
Margiani, for me, has had a wonderful performance here today. He's been on form, so sharp, and has defeated some very, very strong opposition.
I'd like to believe he's of Italian descent. I don't know if that's true, but Margiani sounds it. Here they go. Yeah. Very similar in stature here. I'm always fascinated with the gripping game here.
Well, it's very close head-to-head actions here now, as you can see. One taking the lapel, the other one controlling with the sleeve. Top trying to get in very, very close, isn't he? Literally rubbing of foreheads here.
Yeah. Fingers all taped up, foreheads all bumped up. This is the way they like it.
Yeah.
Get their nose in there.
Margiani there, as you can see, high collar and lapel grip, squeezing in towards the neck as he draws his opponent. But there you see Tot trying to shake it all up a bit, creating a reaction from the Georgian. Didn't really succeed on that.
Yeah, both guys going for that double lapel grip.
Yes, it's a very tight gripping skill, isn't it? Neither one of them looking upset about it, though. Both seem very comfortable in that style of gripping. They're both picking up a Shido apiece now with 2 minutes and 42 seconds remaining.
I get it. They got Shidos, but it's actually entertaining watching them battle on the inside like that. I don't want that to be discouraged because it's actually interesting, that head-to-head style.
Well, it creates a little bit of tension, doesn't it? Because you see them drawing in and you're just waiting to see what's going to happen next. Problem is that it just seems to stay there as a bit of a stalemate because neither one of them really at this moment wants to go to that next step, and that sacrifice them. Oh, there you have. Oh, well, a little bit of attempt of a lift there, the Uranagi, but reacted very well there. Margiani.
The style here with that head-to-head and that build-up and anticipation. Hopefully it's going to end up in a big release of energy and a beautiful throw and technique. The audience is definitely waiting for it.
Well, Tot, as you can see, pulling down on the lapel, drawing his opponent head down to his height, because he is slightly taller. Oh, nice and tight.
Drive. Oh, wow.
Somewhere I sort of got the sense that he came in tight, but as he rotated, he just run out of a little bit of space under his opponent. But Margiani there taking the second Shido now changes the dynamics completely in this contest. So Margiani really has to now start opening up and being a bit more gutsy out there. Has to be brave, has to come over the top and open up. Tot using his feet to break up his opponent's balance.
Both guys very similar in what they want to do to each other.
Oh!
Yo! Wazzari scored it.
Wazzari, and the crowd erupt.
Yeah, they are alive right now. I mean, they paid for the whole seat, but they're just using the end of it.
That's it, or even none of it.
Wow.
Whoa,
man.
well.
A little more of a twist and that would have been Ippon.
Well, in fairness to Margiani, he really did well to anticipate that and had that spin just at the end.
And that's what happens when you have two Shidos. You have to open up, and when you open up, that's what can happen.
So we're into the last
40-odd
seconds here. But I thought that was the Osakomi there.
That choke was on. He was forced to put himself in jeopardy. Now with 2 penalties and a score, Margiani really has to push forward.
Well, Margiani, you can see, is piling over the top, but they're going to pick up a second Shido there. And 31 seconds, he cannot afford to make any other mistakes. But,
wow.
Margiani comes over the top.
This is becoming quite explosive with 24 seconds left. And, very good attack.
Tot, well, he's playing a dangerous game at this particular moment. Margiani is piling the pressure on, he's engaging all the time. Tot looks to be just trying to defend slightly there. He has got the Wazzari, but the Seanagi, and this is what we're going to see, is those sort of dynamics, because Margiani is going over the top.
That attack was good enough to not get a penalty and really chew up the time. There it is. Another gold medal for Hungary, and there goes the crowd showing their support and love. It's official.
Definitely, that's it. Another gold medal. We had one yesterday with Ungavari.
He still hasn't smiled yet, but I'm sure inside he's quite relieved.
Well, Margiani there will be absolutely devastated with that. But at the end of the day, you put yourself in a situation of being 2 Shidos down. You change the whole dynamics of the contest and the way you have to fight it.
Yeah, hopefully in about 5 weeks he'll have another opportunity to redeem himself. And of course, both guys getting significant points for the Olympic qualifier.
So Tot for Hungary, takes the title of the Budapest
There it is. There's
Grand
the
Slam
smile.
champion.
Good for him. Look at his neck. It's thicker than his head. That's a tank.
He is definitely built like an OXO cube on legs. Solid.
Everyone standing, clapping. This is what it's all about. And the sportsmanship at the end was fantastic as well.
Yeah. And the mascot,
Is that a dog or a pig?
it's a dog.
Oh.
I actually thought that right at the beginning, but I think it's called Judogi as well. So I think that gives it away a little bit.
They both make excellent pets. One makes a good dinner, a breakfast.
Yeah. Oh. Well, here we have some of the highlights of that very technique that we're going to be seeing, the winning score.
Wow.
Oh.
I love the agility and dexterity. Look at this.
Oh.
And that how? How was that even?
Mariani did really well to spin off that at the end. It was going for 10. And there's a little smile that we were anticipating.
It's so impressive how somebody can rotate without using their hands, just their head, and somehow avoid landing on their back.
So soon we'll be coming up to the ladies under 78 kilo category.
And the first of the bronze medal features Kalyema Antomachi of Cuba. She's up against Husha Steenhuis of the Netherlands. It's Antomachi in the white judogi, Steenhuis in blue.
Well, we didn't have much time to cover Antomachi today, but she had a very steady progression through the stages where she defeated Ferrari of Italy and was caught short at the quarter-final stages against Umeki, who went into the final after defeating Natalie Powell.
The referee in the middle for this one is Vyacheslav Pereteko of Uzbekistan.
Steenhuis came in as the number 2 seed in this competition of 28 athletes participating, and just fell at the last hurdle in the semi-final against Takayama of Japan.
It's not an entirely unpleasant position for Steenhuis to be in, given that she's coming back from injury. So she will have wanted to have tested out the injury and to be competing for a bronze medal, and if she wins it, to find herself on the podium on, immediately upon her return, won't be a bad thing for her.
Yes, it will be very good, a good effort. But her performance today, you wouldn't have thought that she'd been coming back. Her condition is excellent.
Done already.
So straight away, the Niwaza came up trumps again. And Tomashi really didn't know what hit her there at that last stage. They're very quickly done.
Or as Anthony Carelli was saying the other day, what day of the week it was.
What day that exactly?
or where you are, that kind of thing. But we won't dwell too much on the difficulties of being strangled unconscious momentarily. It really is just a brief out, and then you're back on and think, oh, here, this is where I am. But I'm pretty sharp, though. They'll be really happy with that. They were concerned at just how sharp she would be and whether she'd be a little bit, tentative and the whole thing. No, as Loretta was saying, not at all. Straight back into it. Let's have a look at this transition into Niwaza here.
Well, she dropped half-heartedly into the Niwaza, left her head exposed, and Steenhuis there just off. She was straight in for the kill, wasn't she there?
Yeah. Maybe she.
Well, look, it was already on. She
yeah.
dropped in and it was there.
I don't think she goes out. What happens is she taps, and then she's up and she realizes, or maybe when you get to see the full thing, but she just goes onto her front in disappointment,
yes,
as opposed
I
to
don't think she went
yeah.
out. But it was a vicious one, wasn't it? It was very, very sharp indeed. That was on right from the drop. So there was a long period of time that she hung on there till that submission. Well, we say a long period of time, but if something is being executed right at the beginning, then it's hard. Well, this will be a very interesting match indeed.
You've got the two British fighters going head-to-head here. Katie Jemima Yates-Brown is up against Natalie Powell, both from Great Britain. It'll be Yates-Brown in the white judogi, Powell in blue, and the referee in the middle. To try and keep things under control is Anna Maria Friedrich of Hungary. Here is Loretta.
Well, I can say for this referee, good luck. And there you have in our picture Sally Conway and Louis Pisani. Just realised they're on the screen there. Now, this is a young lady that oozes confidence at such a young age. Junior world medalist, and she's up against the British senior #1 champion, world medalist, European medalist, and Grand Prix medalist. So no love lost between these two, and it'll be a very interesting match. Speaking to the girls, well, it was one of these sort of things that for Powell, it's like, how do I prepare? They know each other so well, and every time they even train, it's so different. Well, Yates-Brown straight in there with a very low tire toss. She stumbling Powell down to the ground onto her knees. Yates-Brown, normally a 70-kilo athlete that's just moved up in the past couple of months here for a place in the World Championships. She's had about 3 events at the under-78s. And every time we see her, she just seems to get stronger and more comfortable in the weight category.
Picked up a penalty for a false attack there. It was a bit harsh, I thought. Anyway, it's on the board.
And Powell turning in there with the hips and
interested teammates watching on in the stands.
Well, both of these athletes are centralised in Warsaw, training together on a day-to-day basis, so this isn't easy for either one of them. They know each other so well. Yates-Brown coming back from quite a few injuries recently, but seems to have come back very strong indeed.
It's from the south of England originally, as Loretta says, based up in the Midlands now, but Powell is from Wales. So we're getting a bit of a spread of the UK here.
Yes.
Second penalty picked up by Yates-Brown. Didn't need that.
Well, past the pressure on herself. But she seems to cope well with that type of pressure. It's not even on her mind really that she is trailing. But there's a nice turnover, good reaction from Powell, very well controlled. Now works into the ground well. Powell will be hanging onto that arm and going, I don't know why I'm even going to make an effort here, because the young lady, Yates-Brown, is hyper flexible and
super strong as well on the ground.
The arm just bends all over the place. It's just a bit of rubber that she's hanging on to. It's never going to get that submission.
Anthony Corelli's looking at us thinking,
going,
how come that wasn't a submission?
Yes, but if you really know Yates-Brown, it actually bends all over the place. So was Ari there called for that turnover?
It took a while to develop for me. That was a score.
It was nicely controlled as well, wasn't it? Just slower than average, but...
Yes. That's why she didn't give it.
Into the Makakomi. A minute and a half remaining. Yates-Brown will get back up onto her feet.
Difficulty for Natalie. I mean, Yates-Brown has got 2 penalties against her. She's Wazari down. There's only a minute 20 left on the clock. Yates-Brown is unpredictable, and she's a powerful athlete.
And there you have it. She was trying the Sodi, and then she so flexible that she bent back there.
Does the splits in the
looking
end.
for the Ochi, and look at the arm at the back. It's
that was the score.
That was the score we saw earlier on. She's so flexible. She can come in from right from the side. Hips go right through, and the shoulders will be left out on the right-hand side. Cross grip there. Powell coming round the back. Now Yates-Brown also round the back, trying attempt of a Kosota. Just lost her foot in there. Anticipated very well by Powell, who then countered it.
She was brave. She gave it a go.
It was a gutsy performance from Yates-Brown, a well-deserved 5th place, but the maturity and experience at this weight category from Natalie Powell was enough to take her that bronze medal.
I think she handled it really well, Natalie Powell, given the circumstances. She really needed to come away from here with that medal, not least of all because she was being pushed by her teammate.
Yeah.
You know, you're the number 1 seed. You don't want to get pushed by a teammate who then ends up on the podium and you don't. So she really needed to take that one.
Yeah. It was one of those situations that Natalie really had all to lose, nothing to gain, because at the end of the game, the expectations was for her to win. If she'd lost, well, that's a really big downer for her. Where you've got Yates-Brown, nothing to lose. She's just moved up into a new weight category. She's up against a senior, and she's got it all she could do. All she could do is upset the odds.
And a 5th place finish is not necessarily a bad thing for someone who has just moved up into that weight category. So pluses there for both the fighters, although Natalie would have liked to have made it to the final, having come in here as the number 1 seed. It was still a relatively strong field, the 78 kilo category. Powell takes the 2nd of the bronze medals. Now we've had one head-to-head here between the British fighters. We're about to get a 2nd head-to-head. This time it'll be the 2 Japanese that line up to face each other. It will be Umeki Mami of Japan in the white judogi, Takayama Rika in blue. Final of the under 78 kilo category.
Well, what was interesting, those last 2 bronze medals, they were the number 1 and number 2 seed that took the bronze medals. So seeded players find themselves back on that podium.
Only the 2 Japanese edging them out. Not surprising, they've always got good quality. And Umeki was a former world champion herself. The referee in the middle for this one is Havasi Victor of Hungary. Is it? I think it is. Well, it looks like it from here, but we're up in the upper reaches of the stands. It will come up on the screen anyway. There you go. That's your man. They even cheered for the referee because he was from Hungary.
They love that, don't they? There's Umeki there, and now Sights, as you can see, very composed and looking very confident as a former world champion. Bouncing away there, Takayama, getting herself prepped up for this contest. A little slap in the face there for Umeki.
They've all got preparatory routines, haven't they? We just saw Katie Jemima's Yates-Brown's one, slaps and slaps and slaps everywhere.
She beats herself up, doesn't she?
Well, we're underway with the final of the under 78 kilo category.
There you have that little turnover that we've seen, the catching of the arm.
Needs to just keep the roll going.
Well,
Free the leg now.
I don't know who's rolling who at the moment, who's in the driving seat of that, because they both have a mission here.
Yeah. Umeki's looks the better at the moment. She's the one who's...
I'm not so sure, because I think, well, she's got the leg, but
if
I've always thought that if she could maybe spin it back over, she could slip through on top, but she'd have to be very, very sharp on releasing that leg to be able to maneuver that way.
For me, it was just who had the arm trapped, Umeki,
Yeah,
you know?
They both seem to have a little bit of control there.
But Takayama was looking to wrap the leg, so that looked defensive to me, rather than part of the role. Anyway, nothing came of it.
Umeki there, as you can see, with the left hand high on the collar. Oh, the hips went through for Takayama. Doesn't want to really mess around again down in the Niwaza, so leaves it be and comes back to the centre.
She's got a bit of a habit of pulling her opponents down, Umeki, and she kind of dodged a bullet earlier on against Loriana Kuka when the referee called Mate, was thinking about giving a penalty, but then let it go. She got away with that because she was on 2 penalties at the time.
Umeki there, high collar grip once more. Look to be showing the Uchimata right on the edge. Ran out a bit of a space there, and Mate was called. Takayama takes a grip, but likes to attack straight off that grip, where Umeki, high collar, takes the time, elbow in, blocks it quite nicely, and then looks for a reaction of her opponent before following through with an attack. Well, you can see that defensive arm on the ribs there from Takayama before she engaged in the Sutemi Waza. Once more the high collar grip from Umeki. Getting that drawn as she sort of gets a slight little bounce on it of her opponent's head just to try and get her coming forward. But instead of getting a very strong reaction, she obviously gets the defense action, which means that results in a Shido for Takayama, who attempts a Koso to stumble in her opponent, but just lost a little bit of control at the latter stage as she entered in there. Now, as you've got the once more engaging again in the Niwaza. Umeki looking there for the arm lock. Has she got it? Still persevering with it though.
Good defense from Takayama.
She does very, very well.
She had enough of the arm, actually.
Yeah,
and
there was
pressure on the elbow,
controlled
yeah.
with Udagurami.
But I think we were saying the other day, Loretta, weren't we, that there is always pressure on, you know, sometimes the wrist,
and
the shoulder, sometimes when an arm lock is going on. But that's not the point of the pressure. The point of the pressure is the elbow joint.
It's where the locking point is where you class it as. So if the locking point was on the wrist, then it's illegal. If it's the locking point's on the shoulder, again, that's illegal. But if you start within the center of the elbow, regardless how the motion of the shoulder or wrist is, the locking point is that elbow.
And that's what you're tapping for in the end. We're into golden score, Umeki and Takayama. 2 penalties picked up by Takayama during normal time, so it's not the best position for her, although she gets into a good position there.
Yeah, she attempted a Sodi there, and but lost a little bit of control. Takayama, as you can see, with 2 shidos on the board, and we're in 20 seconds of golden score. Well, it was predicted that there was a possibility of this being a very, very close fought match, and neither one of them giving too much away. Yumeki looks the stronger, especially all-rounder with the niwaza as well as the tachiwaza, but a couple of strong moves there from Takayama. As we've seen with the Sodi, she uses her feet quite nicely, and piling a little bit more extra pressure as Yumeki goes down into the niwaza there. Obviously feel a little bit exposed on the edge of the contest area. Felt it was wiser to drop, and there she has a pickup first shido from Yumeki. Counter well, very soft Ogoshi attempt there, and Yumeki was waiting for it. Kosoto pulled her back, controlled it quite nicely to get the ippon.
Well, a win by ippon in the end for Umeki Fami over her teammate. They have to travel back on the flight to Japan together now.
Waving that gold medal. But still, silver medal with defeating a very, very strong field of athletes here today is a good result. That was anticipated. The Ogoshi there as she came in was anticipated very well from her teammate as she drew back on a very strong grip from behind.
We've got the awarding ceremony now for the men in the under 90 kilo category. The bronze medals go first of all to Alexander Kukolja of Serbia. There's a bronze medal too for Ivan Silva Morales of Cuba. Silver medal goes to Ushangi Margiani of Georgia. And the gold medal goes to Todd Christian of Hungary.
Definitely a crowd pleaser, that one, wasn't it? There's highlights of that win.
They're 3 for 3, the Hungarians, as far as medals are concerned. There's a medal on the opening day for Karakas Hedvig. There was one yesterday for Ungvari Miklos, and now today for Tok Christian. So happy times for the Hungarians, who stage a really classy Grand Prix. I wouldn't be surprised if at some stage this became a Grand Slam.
Grand Slam, yeah, definitely warrants it, doesn't it?
Yeah, great presentation.
Well, last year they hosted the World Championships, didn't they? And that was a very well-run event.
And now the national anthem of Hungary. There's the winning quartet. Kukolia and Silva Morales were the bronze medalists. Margiani took the silver and it was Top who took the gold medal. Right, we've got the first of the bronze medal contests in the under 100 kilo category coming up next. This features Peter Palchik of Israel. He's up against Martin Pacek of Sweden. It'll be Palchik in the white judogi, Pacek in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Vasily Smolin of Russia. That's what it looks like to me. Anyway, here is Loretta Cusack-Doyle, and sitting in is Anthony Corelli.
The referee is from Russia, Mr. Vasily Smolin.
Vasily Smolin, referee, representing Russia here. Take stage to judge this bronze medal match, and well, we've watched these athletes progress to this stage, haven't we? And they've been very impressive indeed, haven't they?
Yeah, this is the one earlier I mentioned may steal the show, so to speak. I know it's not a show, it's a competition, but it is, we do want it to be entertaining.
Yes. Pacek, for us, was very impressive against Aaron Wolf, wasn't he, in the semi-final.
He was impressive the whole day.
But he has battled away throughout the stages against some very tough opposition. And what turned it all around, I think, for a lot of the athletes is when they saw Lipitiliani go out on the first match, but there's a Tominagi attempt straight away.
That's the fourth match I've seen where he does Tominagi into some form of newaza. So that's obviously his little patented maneuver. He still keeps almost catching people, like they should be aware of it. It's interesting. By doing that, you're just setting up so many other things, because now they have to be very aware of the possibility of that.
And the thing is, by someone who does a sutemi waza to try and draw their opponent in, you know that they're very comfortable in the knee waza. So if you don't have the knee waza skills, it's quite a scary situation to be in, because what you're trying to do is resist against the sutemi waza, which means that you're actually giving more ammunition to be able to maneuver in deeper to get the score from the sutemi waza to start with.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see how he responds to that threat.
Well, Palchik, as you can see, is trying to cross over on one side of the lapel. Get a circling motion, but there's the Uchimata.
Wow! Oh man! Again, right on his head.
Palchik right on his head, spun across there.
And immediately covered up his neck and arms. Look at this.
Oh yeah, straight away was on the defense, but good. Well, right onto the head, no score, spun out. He did very, very well. Instead of being 6 foot, now he's 5'11". I think he's lost an inch in that fall.
Now this attempt, he didn't get that lift, so let's see if he gets a penalty here, or he does. And he does, yeah. Oh no, they gave it. Okay, never mind. Palchik got the Judo.
Oh, right on that. He did completely fool him on that Sianagi.
Yeah.
Palchik thought he was really just, he started to ride that Sianagi, thought he could spin out of it, but there was a little twist on there that Palchik from Israel will now take the lead with that Wazari.
Yeah, it looked like there wasn't much on it, and then it just progressed.
Yeah, he just paused. He actually thought he'd got away with it. He thought he'd broken that down, and no, there was a bit of a spin on it, the lift from the rear end.
Yeah, and he tucked his right shoulder right under, almost like doing a break fall.
Yeah, it was just like doing a ukemi, wasn't it?
Which can be dangerous for someone whose newaza is so good,
Oh yeah.
like Pacek.
Pacek definitely is comfortable down in the ground. We've seen some nice little manoeuvres throughout the day from Pacek.
I wonder if he got caught because as soon as Palchik went down, he perhaps looking for that looping choke. Again, here he goes. And again,
This is the danger. Palchik really doesn't look comfortable in engaging in the newaza. And straight away, Pacek went in, drew his opponent down into the newaza between the legs. And the first reaction was for the Israeli to try and back out the back door, which not only leaves his arms starting to straighten out, but it can also take the head up to create the shimiwaza. Very, very dangerous if you're trying to just escape. And he feels safe enough to come on top there as he tries to get the lift and rotation for a turnover.
and Palchik's newaza, I'm sure, is formidable. But with someone like Pacek, his confidence alone is intimidating.
I don't think he's as confident against this Swedish competitor. Uchimata switching to a Sutemi-waza, drawing again his opponent down to the ground.
I don't know if he's going to get another penalty here because his attacks are becoming less and less significant.
There's a little bit of distance, isn't there, between the movements, so he really needs to tighten that up. It's a little bit too loose.
I would like to see him go for the Uchimata with that far arm instead of two lapels. I think he could have more success.
Well, the Uchimata there trying to turn it into a Makikomi. It's quite interesting. Palchik, to avoid the Uchimata, what he tends to do, he brings his knees together and he drops down, squeezing the leg as he drops down onto his knees. It's an interesting way of trying to get out of
And
that
look at this
maneuver.
here. He's about to get an Osai Komi of his own.
And he's tied up the head quite nicely as well. Look, his arms round the waist, he's controlling the waist movement. If he turns in, he'll secure it even more. So Pacek knows he has to stay
He's
in that
tapping.
direction.
Wow, he's tapping. I guess he had the choke on.
So beautifully executed
What irony with Pacek getting caught in newaza.
in Niwaza, when really it was Pacek that was the one that was dominating and encouraging the Niwaza.
I'd like to see that maneuver he did there in
Yes.
a replay because he had his head really and neck deeply tied up as well as his arm.
I think the winning ingredient was, though, the wrap from the waist. What he had was that wrap over, that if there was only one way he could go, he wrapped him into a point that he pinned him on the side so he couldn't actually go forward anymore. But if he made the mistake by coming in, he actually secured the hold down from there because he spun into the positioning of the Osakomi. So it was a win-win situation, especially when he had the shimiwaza there.
Palchik with a bronze medal. Very well deserved and earned.
Well, the Israelis have been very consistent in the results. It's been out on there. Well, you hope it is his girlfriend.
Just a fan. The Hungarian fans, of course, known for their hospitality.
And here we have this maneuver. See the arm round the waist?
Oh, look.
That was pinning him on the side, but look at the arm
Where's
round the
his
head.
other arm? I can't. Oh, it's from underneath.
It's from underneath. He's wrapping it over. The leg comes out, the Osakomi, but look at that hand. That's the ingredient there.
And he's grabbing
He
the
can't
bottom of the
move him
gi.
forward, but if he spins back towards him, he secures the Osakomi.
Yeah.
So he had the best of both there. He had that headlock, and I think it really was a headlock. I didn't think there was too much pressure as far as the shimiwaza was concerned.
Yeah, it
I
didn't
think
look
it was
like
just really, really uncomfortable, and most probably more pressure on the neck. Magiev there, here representing Russia in the white for the other bronze medal.
I've enjoyed watching Margiev all day. Let's see what he can do here, if he can walk away with a bronze medal.
Yeah, and Borodavko there representing Latvia in the blue. And when you look at the statistics there, well, when you've got wins of 107, but really, you can't really go on that because there's a lot of events some of these athletes go to and they're not registered on those statistics. Well, all I say, you don't get to a final of a level of tournament this way with only having a handful of contests under your belt.
Yeah.
Wins.
And Borodavko backstage, I saw him with his gi off, and my God, very well put together.
Why did you put your jumper back on? I'm hiding, I'm putting a big jacket on, I'm not going to stay in here for two. It's quite intimidating when you look around there. You're sort of thinking, well, my legs only come up to here when you see some of these women and the legs come right past my head.
Yeah.
It's quite, you sort of think, that's not fair.
Borodavko's abdominals start immediately from his neck.
Or when they were handing out abdominals, he was the first in the queue, wasn't
Yeah, took double the portion. Both guys very, very strong.
Magiev. She's trying to settle in with the grip, but Borodavko there straight away tries to throw that arm over the top. A little bit of sizing each other up here at this moment, isn't it? It's
Yeah, try to
both-
break each other's balance, generate some kazushi. It's not easy. Definitely not easy. And there's two different leverage games here. The shorter, stockier guy, the taller guy. Interesting dynamics. Whoop.
Well, there's a bit of a sacrifice there, but I'm not quite sure it was supposed to turn out like that. But Shido is going to be awarded to both of them. I feel like there's very little engagement in this contest at the moment. Just coming up to the first minute.
They're definitely showing a lot of respect for each other's power.
Sutemiwaza attempt there from the Latvian as he draws his opponent, tries to anyway attempt to find something in the Niwaza. Magiev throwing that right hand high onto the collar, quickly dismissed by the Latvian.
Ooh. Oh, he's going to sneak around the back and see if he can work this.
He's looking to create that turnover. He's coming under the chest there. Oh, he's got the choke there. He's got it. He's definitely got it. But sadly, it was across the chin. A little bit frustrated there, the Latvian, as he raises the hands. But no, he's even checking out his neck, because it must have been a big threat for him there.
Yeah, and if you get it across the jaw, you can dislocate someone's jaw. And it's game over at that point, too. You can't continue with a dislocated jaw.
Magiev, as you can see, taking hold of the sleeve. He steps across for the Tayatoshi. That was a really silly move. Did you see there? He went there for the Tayatoshi, landed on his face, and he gave a big look up over his shoulder, exposing that chin.
Yeah.
Now, if he was at the other side of him, he would have ripped his head off. And really, we've seen a couple of times that that's happened. Exactly what happened to Deguchi from
Yes.
Canada, who
Yeah.
got caught that way. Had a wee look up, and before you knew it, she was tapping up.
Yeah, if it's one thing I'm taking back to really reinforce to my students is you fight until mate.
Yeah.
You protect everything until mate. Arms, neck, don't look, just keep fighting. Assume it's
You've just got to have a better feel rather than having that sort of sense rather than look. And it's the look that you try to look behind you and physically look with your eyes is so dangerous.
There's a second sheet of Margev.
With 1 minute, just under 2 minutes.
Oh.
40 seconds, a couple of takedowns there. But Magiev really has to be very careful now, because one more mistake could cost him this bronze medal. If he drops under it a little bit loose there, I think.
I mean, he's going for legitimate attacks. They're just being stuffed.
Borodavko could read that like a book. He was ready for that attack. He was able to block it quite nicely.
And if you stuff it quick enough, it could look like a false attack.
Osota.
Oh, there's...
Borodavko really anticipating every move now that Magiev is working on. There's a good sense of the direction this contest is going. He knows that tactically he could, by playing the right tactics against his Russian opponent, could take this bronze medal. There's the Sianagi. Another strong attack, that's one more. Another strong attack from the Latvian. There's the Tomanagi. Again, he stands up very rigid in there as if to say, look, do you class that as an attack? But yeah, it was a good attack. He came into position. He did get a slight movement. Wasn't going to get a score.
There was an opportunity there for Margiev to pull the arm underneath and drive through, but God, Borodavko is really strong.
He's a powerhouse, isn't he?
I mean, these guys are not making it look easy, but people don't realize the power being exerted here. Ooh, looks like he took something in the eye.
Well, he seemed to walk straight onto something there and ended up on the receiving end of it. Although it was his own movements.
Like the old excuse, I didn't punch him, he ran into my fist.
That's it. Well, it's also an opportunity to compose himself as well. Even though he might have got a poke in the eye, he'll be able to validate everything what's happening at this moment. With 43 seconds to go, he's got 2 Shidos on the board. He cannot afford to make any mistakes.
This would be a pretty good time to score. Hopefully that woke him up a little bit. Drive, oof, extra hop.
And that's another strong attack there from the Latvian.
Just falling to the ground. Looks like both guys are trying to establish that base to lift from. I'm sure they'd like to.
Oh, no. That wasn't a good maneuver there from Margiev.
He has to be careful. That
I think that is just.
I think he has he's sensing that.
I think there's a possibility of him picking up that third Shido now, based on just that movement. It was a very poor judgment, wasn't it?
Yeah, there wasn't a lot there in that attack at all. A little bit irresponsible. It just goes to show you how strong Borodavko is, that's all he could really fire off. And
yes, and there you have it. The third and final Shido goes to Margiev, who receives a hand sokimaki, and Borodavko takes the bronze medal back home to Latvia.
Yeah, not the preferred way to win, but you know the results are going to show a bronze medal, and that's more important. Okay, here we go. This is going to be awesome. I really want to see if Wolf Aaron is going to turn it up in the finals, or is it going to be the same cool, calm, and collective young fighter that we've seen all day?
Well, for me, we had just up there on the top, which the turning point for Carl Richard Frey was Lipitiliani. And he's come through and he's more or less dismissed the field to this final. I think he's on form today. He really is. He's had, in the past, he's had a steady progression. He's always been around the medals or even medalled in the World Tour. And for me, I think I've got that sort of feeling he could actually do it here today. Wolf, he's a strong competitor, but he's not been that exciting, really, as he's played safe right up to this point. But unless he can inject a little bit of excitement here and open himself up and not be so predictable of what we are expecting, because we've seen it throughout the day in his performance of one match after the other, which obviously Carl Richard Frey has seen. And they're clever tactically. They're very clever athletes, the Germans. And it'd be interesting to see how they fight.
Yeah, he's going to have to use that momentum, and you know, it has to be his day.
Well, he looks again. Look at him. You just don't know if he's going to. He's so hard to read, isn't he?
He is.
Very different. He doesn't put his heart on his sleeve, does he?
His coach just slapped him down and didn't change his appearance at all. So
not at all.
Maybe the threat from Frey is going to be the thing that changes it, or maybe not. He hasn't even really been in jeopardy today. So
no, he hasn't been challenged at all. He hasn't had to really go into second gear at all with this competition. But I think he will be challenged with Frey. Well, I hope so. I really do. I'd like to see a little bit of More dynamics coming from Wolf. I'd like to see a little bit of a different attitude out there with him.
Seems to be a little bit so far. He's a little more alert. Oop. I think that may have
Hurt the
caught him.
controls.
Yeah. Both guys, high judo IQs. They know exactly where they are and what they're doing.
Oh, Wolf, as you can see, the left hand over the top, trying to control that right arm of Frey, but Frey looking comfortable out there at this moment.
Oh.
Gets a good reaction, and we know he's got a lovely Ouchigari as well, so if he can...
Oh, as soon as Wolf felt him about to grab that belt,
went,
just
yeah.
shucked him off. It's amazing how much power he generates with a little shoulder shrug.
Yeah, without moving much. It's just a bit of a nudge out of the way.
Whoa,
Well,
okay.
that's the danger there. Well, this is mixing it up a little bit here as Frey gets on that belt. There was a slight feeling of danger there.
It was the first time I've seen both feet in the air.
Mm. Frey gets the hand on there and throws that arm over the top. Now you can see it's round that
Oh,
Ouchigari.
that's going to score, I think.
Yeah, and that's the danger, is the Ouchigari. That's where he's very clever, and there's starting.
Oh, no score, but he got a penalty out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Frey's
On
reaction
that
time
belt,
looks a little
on
stronger.
the belt again. Well, straight away, the belt grip was quickly dismissed by Wolf, who stepped across, drawing his opponent down onto his face.
Frey looking a little more explosive of the two.
Yeah, well, he's very deep in concentration there as he moves quite nicely. He gets a little bit of a shake up there, doesn't he? He opens up. He's given himself a few more options. He keeps his distance there, but change of... he's trying to...
Frey definitely trying to demonstrate. Wow, look at that.
Well, tactically he was trying to say that he was under pressure on the edge and he was getting pushed out, but it didn't work because he didn't get an Oscar for that one. In fact, he actually picked up a Shido for it instead. So he came over the top, he's trapping that arm. Well, Wolf quickly takes away his grip, but then you're coming in deep on the belt again, trying... We've got the Uchimata, the Ouchigari combination. Now, it's the counter, the lift, the Uranagi that could come from Wolf if he's not careful as he engages. By turning his back on Wolf.
Ooh.
It's actually quite an intense contest now, isn't it? We're just waiting for... You can see what's trying to be set up, but it is a battle of the Kumikata. Both of them now picking up a Shido apiece.
Wow, 2 Shidos each with just under a minute to go here. This is definitely going to change things up. They got to go.
And he's trying to overreach on there on the belt. Possibly a little bit too deep, but Frey once more looking the busier as far as the Kumikata is concerned.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how Wolf is just standing there with 2 Shidos. He has to attack. Something significant. I mean...
And he's got that sleeve.
There really hasn't been an attack for some time now. Oh, man. I hope that's not going to end like this. Oh, man.
Well, it is.
Well, they both didn't do anything, really.
I know, and I think they might end up giving it to Frey, you know, because it was a bit... I don't know yet. I don't think it should go to Frey. I think
good.
Well, they're going to let it go, and I think they had to because that was a bit of a 50-50 me. I actually thought there.
In Dusseldorf, they had that double Hansokomaki in the heavyweight division.
That's right, and it was looking like that was going to go there as well. Oh! Well, now we're starting to shake it up a little bit. There's a little bit of life being injected into Aaron Wolf.
It is anybody's game. 2 Shidos apiece. Golden score.
Wolf comes round the back, and so does Frey. Come over the top and turns his back didn't.
and
Yes! Oh!
The same throw he did earlier in the day. Wow, finishing strong
Yeah.
with a gold medal.
Well, Frey came in. He was gutsy enough to go for it, but he just got the timing slightly wrong on that. He came in for the Ouchigari, but waiting, there was Aaron Wolf that
You really
picked him
hate
off.
to see anybody lose that fight. They were both very, very equally in that match.
Even though it went to Shido's apiece, it wasn't a boring match. It was very intense. There was no doubt about it. We knew what they were both trying to do, but in some cases, when you see the accumulation, you think, "Oh, no one's doing nothing." But although there wasn't any throws, they were doing something because
Yeah.
this gripping that was intense and the slight movements was really keeping us on the edge of our chairs.
It was like a football match or a soccer match, although
Yes.
it's not high scoring. You know,
Yeah.
the subtleties and the gripping game was
You could
very
read.
strategic.
You could actually read what was going to happen. It was definitely an engaging match all the time.
I believe I'm done for today, meaning I'm done for the tournament, the event here. Thank you so much for allowing me to sit beside you and
Oh,
co-commentate.
not at all. It's an absolute pleasure having you join us, and I hope to see you again very soon.
Absolutely, that's definitely my intention. I hope I've heard some wonderful feedback from people online that they like our chemistry and keep up the comments. I'd like
Yes,
to
it's
definitely
great.
come back and be involved more and more, and hopefully bring the sport I love to life and help share it with as many people as possible.
And my
Sheldon.
best wishes to you and your wife. You're becoming a daddy very soon.
Yes.
So I hope everything goes well. So.
Well, I
look
already have
forward
his
to
gi
hearing.
or her gi ready.
He or her.
Here,
Right.
Sheldon, also thank you very much for allowing me to rotate in here and help share the experience with everybody at home. Everybody at home, thank you so much. See you next time, and enjoy the World Championships. I won't be there, but I'll be there in spirit. Oos.
Sayonara.
And for the Netherlands, usually Stenhouse.
First of the bronze medals goes to Natalie Powell of Great Britain and to Usha Steenhuis of the Netherlands. Silver medal goes to Takayama Rika of Japan. The gold medal goes to Umeki Mami, also from Japan.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of Japan.
And now the national anthem of Japan.
Thank you very much. Now, second picture with you ladies and judoka.
Powell and Steenhuis were the Bronze medalist Takayama took the silver, Umeki the gold medal. We've got the medal matches in the plus 78 kilo category coming up next, and the first of the bronze medal matches features Yelisaveta Kalanina of Ukraine. She's up against Nihal Chekrahu of Tunisia. It'll be Kalanina in the white judogi, Chekrahu in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Ramzi Shamirov of Tajikistan. Here's Loretta.
Sheldon, yeah, well, this will be a very interesting match. Both athletes have worked extremely hard to get to this point, but as we know, only one bronze medal is up for grabs on this half. Chekrahu, a couple of weeks ago, was in the final of Zagreb. Very strong structure there of the Ukraine as she walks through onto the field of play, very composed, and Chekrahu slightly smaller in stature of her opponent, but has a slight weight advantage, I feel, coming into this bronze medal match. Kalinina really has to be very careful not to turn her back too much, and it's the Makakomi which is the biggest threat, and walking onto the Sianagi, because of the size, have a tendency to want to throw that arm over the top. But as you can see straight away, Chekrahu coming in with the Sianagi attempt. Ukraine done well to just block it.
I thought that was a reasonable reasonable effort. She didn't get the rotation,
Yes.
and really for that, but it's harsh really, because a false attack is something where you didn't mean to do something. You were just throwing it in for no reason at all. It failed. She failed in her effort, and for me there should be a distinction between a false attack or a failed attack.
A deliberate drop down.
Maybe
for avoidance or whatever, but
Yeah,
that
exactly,
wasn't. She wanted
yeah.
to engage.
But
She wanted to be first, but just got the timing completely wrong.
I suppose there's another category. So poor. That was probably it. Was so poor.
I think that's where they're looking at it.
Yeah, and I mean it wasn't anywhere near close.
Look at the size difference though here. Linnea really, you think, would try to use the height advantage. She comes over the top, but the fear is that when she comes over and clambers over the top, that she leaves herself wide open for the ouchigari. The combination of the Sianagis and the Makakomis, it's not easy. Kalania really looks very good, strong postured heavyweight, doesn't she? She's upright, she's lean, she looks the athletic, but she doesn't have the hardness, does she, that Chekrahu has, the real toughness, the inner fight and niggly bit that you're looking for. If you put them in, those two qualities in one athlete, well then you've got a champion on your hands, haven't you?
Yeah.
A real winner. Kalania, you just feel she's got the body, she's got the size, she's got the shape, but she just doesn't have that real bit between the teeth, hasn't she? She hasn't got the bite. Not at this moment. I think that's something through years of experience she's going to gain, but at this moment she's still quite soft.
Yeah, she's got a little bit of working out to do. The difficulty for her is that she's been trying to work it out for 5 years now. And throughout that period, I've been looking at her and thinking, when is she going to get
the
there?
Makakomi
Yeah.
and Wazari. Chekrahu now follows it through for the Osakomi. She's got it, and I can't see Kalenia getting out of that at all.
They don't
That
normally.
shoulder is tied up. The weight on it is just... Chekrahu shows the real grit and the perseverance to just keep going in and doing what she's good at.
Yeah, she's not the finished article, Kalanina.
No.
And it's taking a little bit longer for the Ukrainians to get her up to that point. Now, she's usually in and around the medals, you know, 7th, 5th. Once in a while she'll sneak a bronze here or there. And that was different a few years ago when it was round 1, round 2, out on your way home. Has she got enough time? First of all, she's going to qualify. She will qualify.
How old is she at this moment in time?
Not sure. I think she must be 23 or 24. So for a heavyweight woman, there's still plenty of time.
Plenty of time. But
you're looking at 2 cycles.
Yeah, I'm just. Does she have what it takes? That mental toughness.
Well, I think you made a good point. It's going to take some time to get that. My concern is that she really hasn't moved that far in a 5-year period, and we've now only got 18 months.
We're not seeing that progression. We're not seeing that experience and exposure starting to come through in a little bit more confidence in herself. And it does look like she lacks that confidence and the understanding of what she's capable of doing. Like, I was walking into the stadium this morning with Elizaveta, and we've seen the Russian girls, and we've seen Kalenia coming in, and we looked at her and we just thought, what a size of an athlete.
Giantess.
She's giant.
Teddy Riner.
She's a Teddy Riner, no doubt about it. And I said, well, do you know what? If I had that size, I would rip their heads off. I'd be really in there. I'd be so happy to have that size and determine, and the nitty gritty that you were born with. It just seems that she's like a Bambi that still needs to sort of straighten up.
We come now to the second of the bronze medal matches. Caroline Weiss of Germany faces Jiang Yanan of China. It's Weiss in the white judogi, Jiang in blue. The referee in the middle for this one is Roberto Correa of Chile. Weiss is a little bit like Kalanina insofar as one could have expected a little bit more from her. She's got good judo, nowhere near the kind of stature, the height that Kalanina has got. But, you know, she really does have, she's got the kind of judo that Kalanina would like to have, but she is also not the finished article. And I think the thing that you were talking about, Loretta, is that, you know, that kind of killer punch. Both of these fighters lack it.
It's the mental hardness and maturity, that total real belief and of their capabilities.
Well, a couple of weeks ago when we were in Ekaterinburg for the European Team Championships, and Weiss strangled the Russian heavyweight. She looks as though she had the bit between her teeth there. Got hold of Xenia Chabisova when she needed to and won that contest. But
Yang there, she comes in with the Uchimata Mako Komi.
I haven't seen.
She leaves her neck a little bit exposed there. And here she comes, the hips now. Oh, she just didn't get through there. But she's digging away there. She's not let up at all. I don't think she's going to get under the chin somehow, though. And I think it's going to be a mate very shortly.
Chinese coach is as hard as nails. Oh, honestly, for a short, you know, female.
It must be something like little people. They're like little Jack Russells, aren't they? There's a little bit of nitty gritty in them, isn't there? And then you get these big structured women that just little. They're like gentle giants, aren't they?
So I've stayed for a day or 2 days to watch a training camp in China. And she was taking the sessions there, and she was absolutely murdering them. You know, she was on the mat with them. Bash. Hands-on coach. Really tough.
So as you can see with that right hand inside. Oh, yes! What a technique. What a finish. Ho, ho, ho. Well, I don't know whether the leg came up from that angle up the middle for the Uchimata or whether it was a big oguruma, but whatever it was a flyer. Definitely planted that one well, and looking forward to seeing the final outcome of that replay. And she marches back off there again. Oh, a little smile from her. Hey, oh, she'll be a happy person about that now.
I fancy it was the Uchimata. Always time for a few autographs. I haven't seen any of the athletes turn the
And
kids
it's
down.
nice.
Yeah.
No. Now let's see. I'm looking forward to seeing this again.
Jiang is their number 4 heavyweight, by the way.
Right, let's see this. No.
Oh, it goes outside.
Yep,
Yeah.
outside. Good enough. Whoa, beautifully done. Oh, big. Yes, definitely.
Horror
Hand-
on
the hand
Caroline's
up.
face there.
Well, she stepped across what looked to be
Yeah.
the Tai Toshi first. The big leg came up though. Accelerated 3 for the big Oguruma. Beautifully done. The elbow was a little bit untidy, but you could see the generation and power that went through that leg.
We come now to the final of the certainly plus 78 kilo category. Marina Slutskaya of Belarus faces Idalis Ortiz of Kuwait. Slutskaya in the white judogi, Ortiz in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Cho Min-sun of the Republic of Korea.
Well, it'll be interesting to see. This is one that it could go either way. I would say Slutskaya, she's been out on the scene for a little time. She's had a few results under her belt, and she's here and now, isn't she, as far as getting those results. But Ortiz, as you know, has a lot of experience under her belt with world medals, and she's not one that you can write off at all.
Yeah, it depends what mood Ortiz is in. Her moods change from fight to fight, not from tournament to tournament.
Yes.
You know, she may have a sleepy first fight, then she'll bash the next couple, and then she'll fall asleep again.
Yeah.
You know, well, she's in the final.
Well, she's guaranteed a medal, but will that be just enough for her? See, sometimes you wonder to get into that, maybe thinking, well, this is going to be a battle, and knowing that you've guaranteed something at the end, does that give them enough grit to just keep going and take that gold spot? Oh. The Olympic. Well, she's done it all, isn't she? World champion, Olympic champion, double Olympic world champion, I should say, and Olympic champion. But there's a few years that years ago that was it back in 2014 and
12 the Olympic
12 the Olympics,
title.
wasn't
Yeah.
it? Then after that, the world title, one after another, 1 year after another, 13th and 14th.
She was
Was
a
it?
bronze medalist back in 2015
15.
and won the world
Worlds in
championships
14.
in 14
And then I think before that as well.
and
yeah,
in 13. Yeah, you're
Rio.
right. 13, 14, 15 had a
So 2
a bit of a
golds,
slip.
1 bronze, and an Olympic gold medal. So
Yeah.
definitely you cannot write her off. Second in the Masters last year.
7 really big medals for Ortiz. 3 bronze medals at World Championships, 2 golds, and then a gold and a silver in the Olympic Games as well. So
Some career, isn't she? Had little smile on her face. She
she's laughing, yeah.
2 Shidos down, and she smiles at the referee for getting them. So as if to say thank you very much. What I like about Ortiz though is that when she does get that opportunity to move, she's quite agile. She's quite graceful in her movements.
Must be the samba dancing that she's
I know, she has a bit of
got
rhythm.
the she's got
got-
the reputation for a bit of a dancer.
She definitely has some rhythm there. Her timing and footwork is quite good. But what spoils her, if she's clamped down
Yeah.
and gripped up tight, then that movement, there's no more flow to her, and the rhythm's gone. And for me, that's what she needs to get the throws in.
Yeah, the times when she seems to just switch off and become completely unaware that there's a clock running and that there are penalties being piled up against her. You know, it's almost as though she's in the club, just having a bit of a randori and forgets that there is a contest going on here. Slutskaya picks up a second penalty.
So 2 Shidos apiece now. Whoa! Well, you see there, she dropped.
Yep.
But the power, it was as if she was like a javelin she was trying to throw over her shoulder.
Just have a look at the
Look at
landing here.
If she'd only turned and spun her head a little bit, she would have fallen over the shoulder slightly. But there you have it, a Wazari, and 1 minute and 18 seconds remaining. But still, what's lingering there is the 2 Shidos apiece. One more penalty given to either one of these athletes is a disqualification.
I think Ortiz is going to attack again.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
she
just
seems
got
to be in the zone this
Yeah.
time, doesn't she? It's her time to party, as we would say. Slutskaya really struggling with the grips. There's no doubt about it. As she tries to come in for the Makukomi, totally dismissed there by Ortiz, who tries to look for an opportunity in the Niwaza. Comes under the chest there, trying to get that rotation. But there you have that throw. Oh, she's deep in, wasn't she?
Just about squeezed that out.
Yeah. That was on the line, wasn't it, really, for a score? Well, Slutskaya really has to go some now to try and come back with seconds remaining. But Ortiz really can't take her foot off the pedal. Has to still stay engaged. Bit of a poor judgment there for that Cianagi movement. But Ortiz takes the gold medal.
Ortiz adding to her medal tally.
Another one, another notch on her belt. Well, yes.
Got her preparations in order now for Baku, the World Championships coming up next month. Cuban hero, isn't she?
Oh, she's definitely the mummy of the team, isn't she there? Loved by all. Oh, you see that when he slapped her on the back and he took her head off. Nicely done.
We've got the awarding ceremony for the men in the under 100 kilo category coming up now. First of the bronze medals goes to Yevgeny Sporodavko of Latvia. There's a bronze medal for Peter Palchik of Israel. Silver medal goes to Karl Richard Frey of Germany. gold medal goes to Wolf Aaron of Japan. Just went about his business nice and quietly today. Did Wolf. I was going to say, he didn't hunt people down. He's not that kind of wolf. I know but he's not that kind of guy. Just went about his business nice and quietly, and even in the finish there, it was Karl Richard Frey going for him,
yes,
and Wolf countering the German.
There was definitely no rattling his cage, was there?
Yeah.
You couldn't really upset him emotionally.
Nice and cool.
He kept his composure and fixing his hair there, as you can see.
Now the national anthem of Japan.
Thank you very much. Now, second picture. Budapest and Judo.
Strong showing from the Japanese team. Up to this point, it's 8 gold medals, 4 silver. They're really going great guns.
They are collecting them, aren't they, now? And they've got another chance here in the plus 100s.
Borodavko and Palchik were the bronze medalists. Karl Richard Frey of Germany took the silver. It was Wolf Aaron of Japan who topped the medal table. Sorry, topped the medal podium. Right, we've got the first of the bronze medal matches in the plus 100 kilo category. Zarko Chulam of Serbia faces Roy Meyer of the Netherlands. It'll be Chulam in the white judogi, Meyer in blue. And it's Lubomir Peter of Australia to take control of this one.
There you have the statistics, and very, very similar in stats. Both very impressive throughout the day. Meyer started off a little bit scary at the beginning, and as he progressed through the stages, just seemed to ooze with more and more confidence throughout the day. Sadly fell at the last hurdle in the semi-final against the Japanese Ogura, and now finds himself battling once more for a medal and a place on the podium.
He's got a good chance here. I think he's the higher ranked of the two fighters.
Yes.
He could
just edge
do
it.
this, yeah. Size difference.
No, that's the only thing, but Meyer has livened up quite a bit today, and he started off where it could have gone all horribly wrong for him in the first match. Seemed to find the ability to come through even on the worst starts. Looks like he's battling away against some very strong gripping style there from Chulam.
Well, the more that Meyer gets to move Chulam, the better it is for him. You really don't want to be standing
and
still for too long.
Roy Meyer can do that, but obviously this first opening part of the contest. He's a little bit apprehensive, isn't he, to make that first move. So you see an Aggie attempt there as he follows through, looking for an opportunity in Niwaza, but the size of the big man, it's going to be a very tall order to get some result in Niwaza from him. But he stumbles him over. Good start, showing the dominance and the capability of Roy Meyer from the Netherlands. Now he has that little bit more aggressive bite to this contest. John across grip, comes over the back now, tries to secure an upper high collar grip. This time he seems to have connected there deep on the collar, drawing Meyer's head down and controlling him quite nicely, but he needs to follow it up. There's the Sianagi once more. There was a sweep there attempt, but really didn't unbalance the Dutchman.
Chillum picked up a second penalty there, this time for passivity. 2 on the board now with half the contest still to come.
Still a long way to go, and a bit of a dangerous situation now for Chillum. Meyer really needs to keep his distance from his opponent. That high collar grip could cause him a few problems, and it's a very dangerous situation when your opponent's so big. You would think would tactically try to start moving his opponent. He's coming in with that Sianagi, and it's like literally hitting a brick wall. He's not really stumbling his opponent much, but it's a lot of effort he's putting in, and the more he does that, the weaker he'll become, and the chances of getting a counter against him. You show it too many times, and Chillum will be waiting for it. Uchigari, nicely done. Awazari, it's gotta be. And he's going for the arm lock as well. Yes, he has it. That was a lovely finish. Fantastic transition into the Niwaza, and a well-deserved bronze medal that just had the edge going into this bronze medal fight. And a nice bit of sportsmanship, just checking on his opponent. But
Roy's already looking at the replay board. He can't wait to have another look at that. Mind you, he was over to see whether Zarko Chillum was okay pretty quickly, wasn't he? It was nice.
That was a nice touch.
Yeah.
Well, Chillum takes the 5th place, but from the Netherlands, the bronze medalist, the first to be awarded in this plus 100s, and coming up soon will be the 2nd bronze medal match.
Not until Roy's seen the highlights.
No, listen, come on, let's get a repeat on there.
Show me that big screen, JP.
There's John Paul Bell promoting the orange tie.
I don't think she wants an autograph, she just wants to see how tall he is. Her little face.
I know, she's like looking at me going, look at that bird's nest of a chin.
I got my game face on. He's always good for entertainment, is Roy. Let's see how quickly he moves into this. once he gets
Look
the
at
turnover,
that.
yep, he
Look,
knows
it's
that the arm is
there.
there. Trap
Well
that.
anticipated that,
Yeah.
wasn't it? He really was switched on there when he went down into the Niwaza. Fantastic.
Yeah. There was a good sense of awareness of where that arm was and how to apply that pressure from Roy Mayer. There was a complete lack of awareness of what he was doing with the arm, because
Yes.
Chulum was still trying to put the arm in through the leg. For what reason, I don't know. I don't know where he thought he was going with that. Anyway, it ended up with a successful execution of Kansetsu Waza from Roy Mayer, and yeah, Amake.
Look at that girl's face.
I know,
She's
it's
looking
just-
at us going, oh my goodness.
Right, we come now to the second of the bronze medal contests in the plus 100 kilo category. Adam Okrashvili of Georgia faces Ruslan Shakbazov of Russia. It'll be Okrashvili in the white judogi, Shakbazov in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Amano Akiko of Japan.
The referee, she's actually been very good today.
Yeah, one of the best in the world, having refereed at her first Olympic Games back in Beijing in 2008.
Yes, yeah.
Been around for a while and may yet be in the mix for Tokyo 2020. What a thing that would be to finish off
Oh, definitely.
her career in Japan, at the Olympic Games.
So good, wasn't it?
Yeah. In a good position.
There, the big structure of Okrashvili there. Big man himself, the big daddy, as I would call him, of the Georgian team. And such an agile man for a big structure.
Reminds me a little bit of Ortiz with regard to his mood,
Yes, yeah.
The mood takes him. I mean, he threw beautifully earlier today,
Oh,
just
it has,
once.
yes.
And on other occasions, just been so almost lethargic.
Literally just doing enough to get by, isn't it?
But there are a lot of heavyweights like that who, if they get hold of you, you are going to be buried. Just a question of how long it takes them to do
yeah,
it
and if they don't accumulate the shidos.
along the way. Yeah.
Shakbazov, as you can see, with that left hand over the top, clamping down on Okrashvili. Neither one of them have really done much, so both will deserve the shido each. Okrashvili there, as you can see, with the left hand, or both hands high up onto the collar, drawing the head in towards the chest as he attempts the ouchigari. He also has, then he starts to turn the hips through, winding his body around for the makikomi. So he has the two directions that complement one another based on the high collar grips that he has. Shakbazov there, as you can see, with that left hand round the back, trying to control the shoulder and the turning motion of Okrashvili. And once then it was showing a glimmer of that makikomi as he started to turn. She was an attempt there, stumbling his opponent. Okrashvili going down into the ground and very slow motion back up, and
He
picks
wasn't
up.
happy. He wasn't happy with that, was he?
No, he wasn't happy. Not a happy chappy. But for the Russian, what saved him was the Sasai attempt. Shakbazov once more, the arm round the back, trying to control the back, but Okrashvili there, he's got the makikomi. Well, we knew it was just a matter of time. Wazari, and there you have it. It came in, that big Oguruma, put his foot down. There was an attempt there of a counter, but he just had that wrist and no more as he turned when he went down. So Shakbazov now trailing with Wazari, but he does have a Shido, but Okrashvili has two, so he can't afford to take his foot off the gas and not continue engaging in this contest. One mistake or a poor attack. Oh, what a mistake there. Another Wazari, but this time on the side of the Russian. Just lost control there. He came in without the correct grip and control, and he really just gave that Wazari away. Now Okrashvili is thinking, oh, now I've got to start all over again. This actually could even go to golden score if I'm lucky enough. Comes in against for the Makikomi. Off the first attack, he takes the belt, but he has to use it. Yep. Oh, so close. Oh, there's a few nice attacks there from Okrashvili. High collar grip, arm under in the armpit there as he tries to throw that left arm deep over the top, blocked by the Russian. So we're now into golden score. Not something that Okrashvili would have liked. Tries to get two hands on at this moment, struggling a little bit. Shakbazov has got only one Shido on the board, can afford to be a little bit... Ah, yes! Oh, what a throw! Well, I think that was the Oguruma there from what we've seen. Be very interesting to see the repeat on that, but I'm sure the leg was right across there. And it was more of a leggy technique than it was the Makikomi, but my goodness, what a throw.
Shakbazov still breathing heavily after that landing.
Oh,
Knocked the wind out of him, didn't it?
Definitely.
Very powerful finish. 24 seconds into the golden score period, Adam Okrashvili of Georgia comes up with a flattening hip on his opponent from Russia, Ruslan Shakbazov.
Oh, definitely a beautiful finish there for the Georgian.
This is medal number 12 for Adam Okrashvili in Grand-Prix. Congratulations.
There's the hands on the hips. He's looking a little bit worse for wear, but he's got that bronze medal around his neck. There he comes into our screen. Entry. A very serious man who goes out of the arena is a very happy one. The Oguruma, he attempted there, followed it through to a Makikomi, beautifully executed. Kosota, but that was the mistake. He left himself wide open, no upper body control. And here you have it, the big, the Oguruma, but then the foot went down and he just continued to rotate through with the hips. The momentum of the upper body control was what gave him that nice little finish there at the end. Steps down, way over he goes. What a throw. And there, well, the Russian coach, he says it all, isn't it, really?
Luckily, He didn't say anything, or else we'd have been able to lip read it.
Exactly. His lips were sealed.
We come now to the final of the plus 100 kilo category. Stefan Hegi of Austria faces Kageura Kokoro of Japan. It'll be Hegi in the white judogi, Kageura in blue. And the referee in the middle for this one is Mariano dos Santos of Brazil. There's Loretta.
Well, Hegi came into this competition as the number 1 seed. No disappointment as he enters into the final of this plus 100 kilograms. Kagura, tremendous performance throughout the day, steady progress without very little threat up to this final, defeating all his opponents in style. But Hegi, for me, is a strong, very well focused athlete.
For me, Kageura has had the tougher of the 2 draws.
Yes.
You'd expect that because Hegi was the number 1 seed, so it should be slightly easier for him. But Harun Sadikovic, Tamerlan Bashayev of Russia, Roy Meyer of the Netherlands, those are the fighters that Kageura had to dispose of on his way to this final, whereas Hegi, it was Enic Maranic of Slovenia, Zarko Chulum of Serbia, and Ruslan Shakbazov
And the
of
2
Russia.
bronze medals obviously came from Pool C and D, which was at the bottom half of that draw. Kagura, as you can see, just taking his time. He's got the hand on the lapel, cross grip, takes the sleeve, starts to turn the shoulder. Hegi trying to turn in on his opponent, but really with very little control in the upper body, leaving himself very exposed to that Osotogari into the Makikomi for Kagura. So he has to be very, very careful on his timing as he turns his back on his opponent. And Kagura picks up the first Shido. He'll not be too phased by that. He's just waiting and playing a bit of a waiting game here to get the best grip for the ultimate sacrifice of his technique. Taitoshi steps across with one hand on, really. He couldn't get the desired lapel grip. Hegi blocking that out, playing a bit of a tactical game. More of a blocking and looking busy out there from the Austrian. Possibly the tactics coming into this final match against his opponent that is very much capable of throwing and throwing big. Kagura breaking the grips away, really wants to start afresh as he stretches through. Now looks for the Makikomi, but again just doesn't engage. Oh, he's got a grip now. Oh, he's only got the sleeve, but he can throw off that sleeve. We've seen it in previous matches. One thing he doesn't want is to start accumulating the Shidos whilst trying to take his time in getting the ultimate grip against his opponent. Oh yes, stumbling over there. Kagura, nice attack. Now Hegi picking up a Shido. So coming into the last minute, of this gold medal contest. Pretty even here, but you always have a sense that Kagura has the big throw in him. It's just a matter of time. Hegi playing just a little bit of a tactical match here against a very tough opponent. The Uchigari stumbles his opponent, just clipped the heels and no more. Showed as if he was coming in for the Sianagi, had the cross grip on that lapel. We pull forward and a switch to the rear. Just didn't get in deep enough. The Osotogari again, another good attack. Hegi's got to be careful. He'll pick up a second Shido, and there it is. He's starting to accumulate these Shidos now. And we go into golden score. So Hegi goes into the golden score with 2 Shidos. It's not the best situation to be in. Kagura always been threatening with some very good, strong attacks that stumbled the Austrian a few times. Yet to see the Makikomi, that's the first time we've seen a strong attack from the Austrian. Sianagi follows through it into the Nibaza. Oh, he wasn't really wanting to dabble too much down there. Koichi, nicely done with 2 hands on the one sleeve.
Didn't sell it to him this time. Last time
No,
he
really
had the
did.
reaction, but this time not.
Sianagi once more. Again, a very defensive move, and I think we're seeing the third and final Shido going to be awarded to the Austrian. It's not the way we would like to see a gold medal being handed out, but they're not now. They're just going to let that ride.
And I'm so glad that they didn't.
So, yeah,
You know?
because I do think there is a big throw there. You've just got to give him time. Kagura comes in, well, not so convinced there with that. Possibly a Shido, maybe.
It's yet another Japanese fighter that I've seen attempting throws that they would not normally have attempted before. You know, they normally only go when they can really throw. There wasn't anything there, just a little show, you know? Bordering on the force attack.
Mm-hmm. Oh, a minute and a half in golden score. Sianagi! Oh, again, just a little bit too deep this time. A little bit of frustration now starting to show in the body language of Kagura. Ochi! Uchimata Ahare. Well, it's still very much a lively match out here as both battle away for that gold medal. High collar grip there from Kagura, drawing his opponent's head down. A step across from Hegi. Koichigari Sianagi, once more, nice combination of techniques. Sianagi, again he moves his opponent. Now that's 3 attacks, straight off, one after another.
The only reason that Hegi is still in this is because the attacks from Kugeura are not as strong as they should be. That's why Hegi is still in this.
There's an Ochigari again, but that was a good
That was
stumble.
close.
That was a close one. Kagura really starting to blow there, as you can see.
Should save himself for a good attack.
Yeah, he's putting in a lot of it there, Makikomi.
Yes,
And that's
gonna
it,
score.
Wazari. Well, I'm glad it went on a score rather than a Hansokimaki. It's always
Absolutely.
nice to see the final match of the whole competition go out with some judo rather than with a negative finish to it. But it was a struggle for both these athletes to produce what we know they're capable of doing, and that's some quality judo.
Judo Grand-Prix Budapest. Thank you once again for your cooperation.
So Kageura takes the gold medal for Japan to add to the result table, staying firmly on the top of the medal table.
Couldn't keep up with the tempo set by Kageura Heiji, just off the pace, I'm afraid. And he would have been one Shido off. You know, he picked up the Shido and then people started looking at him. The referee was always looking over at the control table. Shall I penalise him now? Shall I penalise him now? You know, you have to know how to stay in the contest, apart from avoiding being thrown, of course, and to try and throw your opponent. You also have to have a feel of what the referee and the judges are looking at as far as your involvement, your engagement with the contest is concerned.
Yes.
And I think he just missed that this time round, Stefan Heiji. Anyway, silver medal for the Austrian, but the gold medal, as Loretta said, goes to Kageura of Japan. We've got the awarding ceremony for the women in the plus 78 kilo category now. Let's take a look and see who we've got lined up there. Bronze medals go first of all to Jiang Yanan of China. There's a silver medal as well for Nihal Chekrohu of Tunisia. The silver medal goes to Marina Slutskaya of Belarus. But the gold medal goes to Idalis Ortiz of Cuba, who's let her hair down.
Oh, it's looking very pretty indeed.
And now the national anthem of Cuba. Short, sharp and sweet. Or sweet. There's the winning quartet. Jiang Chekrohu with the bronze medalist. Slutskaya took the silver, but it was Ortiz who walked away with the gold medal. Now we're going to have some highlights for you, and then we're going to be back with the last of the awarding ceremonies. That will be for the men in the plus 100 kilo category. Stay with us, and we'll be back shortly.
Thank you very much for your cooperation.
We come now to the awarding ceremony for the men in the plus 100 kilo category. Medals are going to be presented by the president of the International Judo Federation, Mr. Marius Wiese. The first of the bronze medals goes to Adam Okrashvili of Georgia. There's a bronze medal for Roy Meyer of the Netherlands. The silver medal goes to Stefan Hergi of Austria. The gold medal goes to Kageura Kokoro of Japan. I suppose it's fitting that that final gold medal should go to the Japanese. They ended on the top of the medal table with 9 gold medals. The Hungarians took 2. There was a gold medal, 1 apiece for Russia, Cuba and Brazil. It's been an absolute pleasure to have Anthony Corelli alongside myself and Loretta Cusack-Dorn. Always lovely to work with you, Loretta.
It's always a pleasure to work with you, Sheldon, and it's been an absolute pleasure to be here and witness some wonderful judo. And I look forward to the World Championships.
We shall look forward to seeing you in Baku for the World Championships. But from Loretta Cusack-Dorn and myself, it's bye-bye for now. We'll leave you with the national anthem of Japan.
Goodbye.
Thank you very much. The following feature, Video Release and Judo Grand-Prix. Dear friends, please give your warm applauses to the honorable medalists, please. Thank you very much. So very much, this is the end of the Budapest Grand-Prix 2018. Once again, congratulations on all athletes in all